Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A hand recount in a closely watched Wenatchee School Board election found no change in the certified ballot count, leaving incumbent Maria Iniguez the victor by a margin of just 14 votes. An Auburn woman was killed in a Friday night crash south of the Vantage Bridge. And an atmospheric river will keep our weather wet and mild all the way into Thursday this week. More coming up in your weather forecast. A report of shots fired led Wenatchee police to close off traffic on a main thoroughfare Friday night in an investigation that has yet to net any suspects. Wenatchee Police Captain Brian Chance said police were called to the 400 block of North Mission Street at 5:13 p.m. after a person claiming they'd been the target of gunshots. The East Cascades SWAT team surrounded a house in the area, and at 7:12 p.m., the department warned on social media that the Mission Street was closed to traffic while they investigated. Chance said while police do believe shots were fired, they finally determined that no one was injured. No arrests were made. The last officers on the North Mission scene returned to regular duty about 2 a.m. Saturday. Chance called it, quote, a very confusing situation that's still being investigated. A hand recount in a close and closely watched Wenatchee School Board election found no change in the certified ballot count, leaving incumbent Maria Iniguez the victor by a margin of just 14 votes. The veteran board member held her total of 1,948 votes to 1,934 votes for Randy Smith, a conservative challenger running in his first ever bid for office. The ballots were tallied in a hand recount that began Wednesday at the Chelan County Auditor's Office due to the 0.36% margin between the candidates. Iniguez was sworn into her school board seat and attended the first meeting of her new term on Tuesday. A new unknown infectious canine respiratory disease that's on the rise nationwide now has 16 potential cases reported in Washington. Of the 16 reported cases, only 2, one in Snohomish County and one in Clark County, have so far been confirmed as what the Washington State Department of Agriculture is now calling an atypical canine infectious respiratory disease complex. While no cases have yet been reported in Chelan or Douglas counties, pet owners should be on the lookout for coughing, sneezing, hacking, or loss of appetite, and contact the vet should their pet display these symptoms. The weekend's first snowfall of the season meant a busy time for emergency responders with accidents and cars spinning into area ditches. Some of those experts were gathered for the North Central Washington Toy Drive on Saturday. Wenatchee Valley firefighter Donnie Etherington told us it's a good reminder to slow down in slippery weather.
I would just caution everybody to slow down, drive slower than you think you need to, and increase your following distance. This time of year with the snowfall and just with it getting cold in general, you know, we see a large uptick in car wrecks and a large uptick in fires as well, just because people are turning their heaters on. But yeah, back to the snowfall piece, just take it slow. You don't need to be in a rush to get anywhere.
Washington law stipulates drivers must pull over to make room for emergency vehicles with flashing lights and sirens. Failure to pull over for emergency vehicles with flashing lights and sirens is a ticketable offense in Washington. Paul Blakeney with Lifeline Ambulance had a recent experience with someone not following that law in downtown Wenatchee.
I was on the way to a lunch, and there was an ambulance coming down Wenatchee Avenue, and the car in front of me pulled over probably about 30 seconds before the ambulance came. Everyone followed suit. We moved over, and one individual chose not to, and the ambulance was coming at us. I probably shouldn't have done this, but I honked my horn pretty hard at this guy, because how would you like it if you, your grandmother, your father were in the back of that ambulance, and the ambulance has to slow down to ensure they're safe for the public? So move over, slow down, get out of their way. It could be someone you love in the back of that ambulance that needs that help.
When we come back, Grant County is not immune from a lawsuit over the drug-related death of a man held in jail in 2018. And Badger Mountain Brewing took to Facebook on Sunday to announce that the business will be permanently closing its doors on January 1st. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Round, NCWLIFE channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today. Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Grant County is not immune from a lawsuit over the drug-related death of a man held in jail in 2018. 34-year-old Derek Batten was in the Grant County Jail on DUI and traffic warrants when he died from an overdose of heroin brought in by another inmate. When his family sued in 2021, saying the jail was negligent in failing to intercept the drug, the county argued it could not be sued because Batten died in the course of committing a felony. But a Grant County judge turned down that defense, and last week the State Court of Appeals agreed, saying the jail had a special responsibility to keep Batten and all its inmates from suffering avoidable harm. No trial date in the lawsuit has yet been scheduled. An Auburn woman was killed in a Friday evening crash south of the Vantage Bridge. The Washington State Patrol says 79-year-old Judy M. Colusio was killed about 6:45 p.m. after her westbound Chrysler minivan crossed the center line and struck an oncoming semi-truck. The accident took place on Highway 26 near milepost 1.5. The truck operator was not injured. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Badger Mountain Brewing took to Facebook on Sunday to announce that the business will be permanently closing its doors on January 1st. The Wenatchee Brewing attributed this tough decision to impact from the pandemic, inflation, a decline in sales since 2019, and a highly competitive market. The business will be offering half off all merchandise, kegs, growler fills, and glassware, and encourages customers to use their gift cards by the end of the year. The local brewery, which first opened in 2013, said it's grateful for the memories made over the last decade. Coming up next in a unique feature story tonight, NCWLIFE News decided that brothers Mayor Frank Kuntz and NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz should interview each other in our studio using questions neither of them had seen before. Expect rain and unseasonably mild weather through midweek. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Deepwater Electronics is your one-stop shop for the latest in TV and sound technology. Whether you build your home theater or let them do it for you, Deepwater Electronics is the clear choice.
The switch is on to T-Mobile. Get the best 5G experience and the customer service you depend on. Only at Chelan Wireless in downtown Chelan.
Well, it's a poorly kept secret that Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's host Dan Kuntz is the younger brother of Wenatchee Mayor Frank Kuntz. With Frank departing the mayor's office after 12 years at the end of this month, NCWLIFE News decided the two brothers should interview each other in our studio using questions neither of them had seen before. In tonight's feature story, here are the results of that experiment.
You want to go first, Frankie?
I'll go first.
Okay, here we go.
All right, Dan, here we go. First question. Which of us has committed the most crimes?
Me.
Yeah, that's an easy question.
That's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
That's
right
a no-brainer. What did Dad always say? Ooh, this is a good one.
Boy, he had a lot of.
He had a lot of sayings.
Yeah. I don't know. You got to think about that for a minute. What comes to your mind?
Middle of the field.
Yeah.
When we
yeah,
were roughhousing.
Yeah. But Mom said that too a lot.
That's
too.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. That was Mom, middle of the field.
I thought Dad said that too.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they both said it.
If you could
swap places with me for a week.
If you could swap places
Jordan
with me
must
for a
have written
week,
that one 'cause I
what
can't
is the
read
first
that
thing you would do as me? What would you do as mayor or as me?
Probably have Steve Crown run the license plates on people I don't like.
Ah, got it. That's a good idea. Yeah.
That's what I do. Chief wouldn't do it, but I'd ask him anyway.
You'd ask him anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Which of us caused more damage to our childhood home?
I don't remember how many golf balls we broke windows with,
I broke at least one.
but you broke it from the outside. I broke one from the inside
Ooh,
out.
that's right, you
In
did.
the living room. I was chipping and got it hold of
So that would be you.
Yeah, so
Because it's
I broke
understandable if I'm hitting a golf ball outside and I strike a building, as opposed
that's
to
okay, yeah.
hitting a golf ball inside.
Yeah,
That
I
was
don't-
good.
I don't know any other damage that
I don't
I
either.
probably did, but
I didn't set fire to the house. BJ did.
BJ
So
set fire to the house, yeah. So I think, yeah,
okay.
I think that's probably it, yeah. Breaking windows with golf balls.
Whose turn is it?
It's mine. Which of us is more famous?
I don't know. You get recognized. I get recognized. I was in media for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to
I don't
that.
think. I think it's about pretty close.
Probably pretty close.
About even.
Yeah.
So.
I hear more people say I've met with your goofy brother today, and I have to
Yeah.
ask which one.
Right,
then-
and I do the same
yeah,
thing.
and they say you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I say, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
What's the worst prank you've played on each other? Ooh.
I don't know if there's any good pranks. Dan, back in the day when we would play outside, if he didn't like what was going on, he'd throw the ball on the
Yeah,
roof.
if I was losing.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a bad loser.
Yeah. So lots of times, whatever football we were playing ended up on the roof of the flat house.
You took me out on my 21st birthday, and you said we weren't going to go drinking.
And how did that go?
I puked on a cop car, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. What food was most often served for dinner at our house?
Not very good.
So what was your birthday dinner? When it was your birthday, Mom said anything you wanted.
Yours was always tuna fish casserole.
Tuna casserole.
Yeah,
So
you
that-
loved it with
that-
the potato
potato
chips on top.
Yep.
I can't remember. I want to say spaghetti.
Okay.
On our birthdays, we got to have whatever we wanted for dinner. That's how I think most families do that.
And I think the funny thing is when we had the big house, inside the walk-in, we had those 100-pound bags of potatoes.
Yep.
And every night for dinner was potatoes.
Yeah.
Baked potatoes, scallop potatoes, mashed potatoes, potato cakes, I think that was the cheapest way to feed 9 people.
Yeah, Mom knew how to make potatoes.
Yeah, so.
I love my mother. She was not a very good cook.
Yeah, we all ate a bunch of potatoes.
Yeah, we just ate a bunch of food. Which of us was Mom's favorite?
I was probably more of her favorite.
I would say you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would say that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yes.
I remember reading the family letters, and so our grandmother couldn't hear.
She was deaf.
And so my mom would write a weekly letter.
Right. That's how they
Grandma.
communicated.
That's
And
how
now
they-
we have an archive of it.
And now, when Grandma died, we got all the letters, and they're all archived. And so you can read when Danny was born and when I was born. And I think Mom wrote a letter and said, Frankie's really good at math or
Yeah.
something, like when I was in like
It was
second
unique
grade or
that our
something. Yeah.
maternal grandmother was deaf because they couldn't talk on the phone, and so they communicated by letter, and we have them all.
Yeah.
So we have this family history that a lot of families don't have that. From
Yeah.
when Mom was, what, about 7 or 8?
Yeah. Yep.
All the way until
Yeah.
Grandma died.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
How many siblings do we actually have?
That's Jefferson wrote that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to answer that.
We have 8. There's 9 kids, so I have 8 brothers and sisters,
And then
I
3
believe you-
stepsisters.
3 stepsisters.
So I consider us 12.
Yeah, absolutely.
6 and 6.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Who was the first mayor candidate you voted for? I was a registered voter in '82, so I would say Jim Lynch. Absolutely, it would
Yeah,
be Jim
I'm
Lynch.
guessing it was probably Jim Lynch.
Because he was
Yeah.
77, 81, 85, 89,
Yeah.
right? And then
But
he lost to
remember-
Earl in '93.
I don't know where you lived, but we were in the county for the long time.
That's
so
right.
We didn't even get to vote
Holy
for.
Well, no, by 93, I was in the city. In '89, I was in the city, so it had to have been Jim.
I was never in the city.
That's
So
right.
the big house wasn't in the city.
Until you bought it.
Right? And then I
Yeah.
annexed it in, so that would have been the first. So I probably voted for Dennis Johnson. Would have been
Yeah,
my
because
first
you lived
mayor.
on the east side.
Yeah,
For,
and in the county, out in Harbell and those other
Right.
places. So yeah, so I'm guessing Dennis Johnson was my first vote for mayor.
Wow, I wish Jim was still alive. I'd have to tell him that I voted for him before you did.
Yeah. So I got to tell you this funny story. So Ruta Jones, I don't know if you knew Ruta. Ruta
Yeah.
passed away recently, and she worked for the city for 40 years. And so I had a going away party. I talked to Ruta, and she got up and said a few things. She goes, "Well, I want you to know that you're my second favorite mayor." And I said, "Perfect. Who's your first?" "Jim Lynch. He hired me." And I said, "Good choice. He's my favorite mayor too." So I tell that story a lot. So that's my cute Ruta story.
Our final story for me is how I call Frankie Frankie, and he calls me Danny when he was at UW and he came back. Of course, once you go to college, you don't go to the dentist anymore. Mom still makes that happen.
Yeah.
And you were back from on Christmas break.
Yep.
And I was either a junior or senior in high school, and Mom said, "Got to go see Bob Euler, got to get your checkups at the dentist." And we went together, and we're in the dentist office in the waiting room waiting to get called in. And they had your file, which went all the way back to God knows where,
Yep.
to 4 or 5 years old. And she comes out with the file thing, and his name's Frankie Kuntz.
Yeah.
Frankie Kuntz.
That's right,
It's
yeah.
your turn.
Yeah.
And we laughed so hard.
Yeah.
And from that time
Little
forward,
Frankie Kuntz, yeah.
he's Frankie and I'm Danny.
Yep.
And this concludes the interrogation.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. Boy, we had some snow, our first real snow of the season. Some of that still around the Wenatchee Valley. We had some low-hanging clouds today and wet weather, and we're going to stay that way at least until about Wednesday. Small streams will rise around Chelan County. We do have a flood watch in effect for extreme western Chelan County. Also, make sure that you keep those storm drains outside your house clean of any debris or snow. We are going to see a lot of melting over the next couple of days. As far as temperatures go, boy, we were right where we should be for this time of year. 37 our high, 36 is normal, 27 our low, and 27 is right where we should be for this time of year. This is for the weekend. We've picked up about 3/10 of an inch of moisture since Saturday morning. That doesn't count a lot of what we saw today, so that will be adjusted tomorrow. 5.29 inches now since January 1st, and that still leaves us just a little over an inch and 3/10 below where we should be. Snowfall, yeah, about 4 inches counting Friday night into Saturday morning, a little bit more Saturday night, so that's where we are right now, although that level will go down over the next couple of days. Sunrise 7:31 this morning and set this afternoon at 4:11. All right, quickly, temperatures for tomorrow. They will warm up for almost all of us. We're talking mid to upper 40s in the Columbia Basin, mainly around the 40-degree mark, all the way from Ellensburg into Chelan, Omak, a little bit warmer at 43. Cool spot tomorrow, Lake Wenatchee at 37. All right, tonight, cloudy skies. It's going to continue to rain. There's that atmospheric river that's moving right into the Pacific Northwest. A 100% chance that we will see rain tonight. Low temperatures in the mid to upper 30s as we get you into Tuesday. not going to change a whole lot. Still the edge of a large area of low pressure providing that atmospheric river or Pineapple Express, whatever you prefer. But we're going to see about a 90% chance of rain tomorrow as well. But as I just mentioned, a nice warm up for us too, with temperatures in the low 40s for Wednesday. Here's that area of low pressure, still a trough out in the Pacific, and that will still provide plenty of cloud cover and plenty of rain activity as well, especially for central and eastern Washington Wednesday. High temperatures then in the low to mid 40s. For Thursday, cloudy skies, but look at our friend. High pressure moves up in the Pacific. That will lessen our chance for the wet stuff as we get into the end of the week. 40% chance of snow and rain, temperatures in the low 40s. And then for Thursday, cloudy skies, as I mentioned, a chance for that rain. Things will get better though as we get into Friday. Partly cloudy and dry. That might be our only dry day this entire forecast. High temperatures on Friday, right around that 40-degree mark. And then getting into the upcoming weekend, another trough of low pressure parks itself right off the Washington coast. And that is going to make for a lot of clouds and a lot of moisture. Rain mixed with snow as we get into Saturday, mainly because we're going to cool down. High temperatures only in the mid-30s, so it could be a snowy one on Saturday. By Sunday, high pressure returns to the northwest corner of the state. That could bring some isolated rain and snow showers on Sunday, with high temperatures then in the upper 30s. All right, your 7-day forecast now. Look at that, 36 overnight tonight. We're going to drop about a temperature or degree or two overnight, and then a very rainy period overnight tonight, Tuesday into Wednesday. Temperatures in the low 40s. Things will begin to dry out by the time we get into Friday with partly cloudy skies and 41. And then cooler on Saturday, a good chance for rain and snow. 35 for Saturday, or Sunday rather, mostly cloudy with a high of 38. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Eric Granstrom, the sports director for the NCWLIFE channel. We're here at Eastmont High School. We're going to be at Wenatchee High School. We've got basketball, we've got wrestling. It's all winter long. While you're out freezing your hind end off, we're inside staying warm. It's right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Washington is the #2 team in the college football playoff after a 34-31 win over Oregon for the Pac-12 championship Friday night. Michael Penix Jr. was voted the MVP after throwing for 319 yards and a touchdown. Dylan Johnson rushed 28 times for 152 yards and 2 scores as Washington finished an undefeated 13-0. Penix said it was a long road to get to where they are right now.
Yeah, man, you know, I'm just super excited to be here and to be in this moment. You know, obviously, you know, like Coach said, you know, it's sad to see, but, you know, for us to be able to, you know, do the things that we did this season, you know, and, you know, it's still going on, but to do the things that we've done so far, you know, it took a lot of hard work and dedication. Like he said, we played a lot of great teams in this conference, and, man, we're just super blessed to be a part of it, and just look forward to what the future holds.
Washington learned it was the #2 team in the college football playoff Sunday morning on ESPN. Coach Kalen DeBoer says he's looking forward to facing Texas in the Sugar Bowl.
Excited about what lies next and what lies ahead. You know, getting the word this morning that we get a chance to play in the Sugar Bowl against a a very good Texas team and a rematch from last year's Alamo Bowl. Understanding that both programs have, I think, continued to make the strides and improve on where we were a year ago. But excited about this opportunity for our guys. Certainly proud of, again, what we accomplished Friday night in Las Vegas against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. And being 13-0 where we're at right now is certainly something that was a goal. And, you know, we've checked every box along the way and more boxes to be checked.
In other college football, Saturday, the Colorado School of Mines scored 24 unanswered points in the second half to end Central Washington's season 38-14. Well, 6 high schools were crowned state champions over the weekend at Husky Stadium. Congratulations to the Liberty Bell Mountain Lions. They repeated as the WIAA State 1B champions Friday with a 68-22 win over Wilbur Creston Keller. Lucian Paz finished 11 of 14 passing for 209 yards and 4 touchdowns. He rushed 9 times for 139 yards and 3 scores. Congrats to the Lions. Royal won its 4th straight 1A title and 11th overall with a 49-7 win over Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. Bellevue shut out Yelm 14-0 for the 3A title. Moving to Saturday, Okanagan Bulldogs won the state 2B championship, holding on to beat Napavine 28-24. Carter Kukenbook, that's Kukenbook, scored 4 touchdowns on the ground, capping off drives spearheaded by running back David Hufstetter, who carried the ball 29 times for 195 yards. This is Okanagan's 4th state championship. The other 2 title games Saturday, not nearly as close. Anacortes won the 2A championship with a 60-30 thumping at Tumwater. Lake Stevens down Graham Kapowson 31-6 for the 4A title. The Wenatchee Wild continue to be the hottest team of the Western Hockey League after a 3-game sweep over the weekend. Fans got what they came for early Friday night in the Teddy Bear toss when Carter Prosofsky found the back of the net just 8 minutes into the contest.
Wild swing at a chance in front, and Wenatchee on the move, 2-on-2 Savoy. With huge speed, sends it out front. Prosofsky scores! And here come the Teddy Bears on Friday night at the TTC.
Wenatchee went on for the 8-3 victory on Saturday. The Wild came back from a 5-1 deficit in the third behind the play of Connor Geekie, who scored 3 goals in a row to put the game into overtime, and then why not just score 1 more in the extra session.
Now puts one rink wide, and it's chased down by Matt Savoy. Savoy picks up on the wing. Savoy shoots. Savoy scores! His 4th of the weekend, picked a spot over the glove of Justin Marich. Floats one blue line, Schwartz shoots, scores! Tip from Connor Geekie, his 2nd of the period. A power play goal puts the Wild within 2.
8:57 left in the third there at the ShoWare Center.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's not, Oh, one-timer, they score! Connor Geekie, 2nd straight, wide open between the hash marks. We got a hockey game. 65 to play. Wild to the net, turning shot, scored! A Connor Geekie hat trick, 4 straight goals for the Wenatchee Wild. This game is tied. Austin Stefan Cagnoni on the ice for Portland. What a move by Geekie. Connor Geekie scores 4 straight for Geekie. The overtime winner on the road with 1:55 to play in the overtime period.
Wenatchee wrapped up the weekend against Tri-City yesterday at the Town Toyota Center. Wild and Americans played back and forth hockey until the Wild took control in the third. They won it by a final of 7-4. By the way, Connor Geekie, after an amazing weekend of 6 goals in 3 games, he collected 13 points for the week. He is the Western Hockey League Player of the Week. And that, my friends, is sports.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.